Hi, welcome to Stellar Yoga. I'm Estelle. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today for practice. Today's class will be yoga for every body, every size, every shape, every level. And I will encourage you to have a few props nearby to make the poses able to be modified according to how you're feeling today. So I would encourage you to have two blocks. If you don't have blocks at home, that's fine. You can use books or even shoe boxes or anything just to bring the floor up towards your hands a little bit. You could also use a chair in front of your mat to be able to rest your hands on if that's something that's easier for you to have at home. And I will also encourage you to have a strap. You can use a yoga strap or you can use any kind of strap, such as a jump rope or a belt or a bathrobe, tie, anything that, again, will help lengthen your arms and can be pulled a little bit. We're going to start today in a seated position, and I encourage you to sit on a pillow if that's comfortable, if you want to sit on a rolled up blanket to lift your hips a little bit, or even to sit up against a wall so that your back has some support. I'm just going to sit on a block. Come into any kind of seat which is comfortable for you. You can be cross-legged, you can be sitting on your thighs, you can also sit in a chair, any way that's comfortable for you. And just close down your eyes or soften your gaze and notice where your body is being supported. That may be from the earth below, supporting your sit bones and your legs, maybe your ankles or the bottoms of your feet. If you are seated against a wall, you may feel the support of the wall behind you. Just notice where your body is receiving support right now. Start to become aware of your breath without needing to change anything. Just noticing the lengths of your inhales and exhales. Noticing the quality of your breath. And then take a moment just to notice how you arrive here today on the mat. Notice how your heart is feeling, how your mind is feeling, how your body is feeling. Again, without judging any of those aspects, but just taking notice, taking stock of how it is today that you arrive for class. If you like, you can take a moment now to set an intention for practice today. Perhaps it could focus on being present, on not judging yourself or feeling like you have to do anything that doesn't feel good in your body. It could be extending your self-compassion. It could be just noticing what it feels like to be in your body while we practice today. Take a few more breaths here to ground and center yourself. And then with closed or gently focused eyes, we'll start to take some slow, gentle neck rolls, bringing your head just gently off to one side, your ear towards your shoulder, and slowly, mindfully making your way to center, noticing how that feels on that side, and slowly making your way over to bring your other ear towards your other shoulder. And then slowly making your way back again. And just doing this in your own time, noticing, if anything, what you feel in your body while you do this. Notice if you're holding tension, if one part feels particularly good, you can hold that. You can move all the way around if your neck feels good towards the back, or you can keep it just staying towards the front. Just notice what feels good today and focus on honoring that. Take one more roll in each direction. And we'll meet back in center. On an inhale, lift your arms up and come off to the right side, resting your right hand on the floor, anywhere that feels like the right spot to get some support. And reach your left arm up and over. Again, noticing what is happening with your body in this position, how you feel. Inhale back up through center and gently come off to the left. Bringing the weight into your left hand on the earth and using your right arm up and over to open the right side of your body. Noticing if this side feels different or from the other side, or if it feels different from other days. Just noticing. Inhale back up through center, and then exhale, twisting to the right, bringing your right hand out beside you and your left hand to your left leg or knee. Waking up your spine and your organs a little bit with this gentle twist. On your next inhale, bring your arms up through center and we'll twist off to the left. Again, just bringing your left hand out beside you or behind you for a little support to keep your spine upright, sitting on your sit bones. And your right hand can reach anywhere that's accessible. And noticing on this side how it feels. And when you're ready, on your next inhale, reach your arms back up through center and let them rest down. Go ahead and move off of your seat, and we'll come into an all fours position. I really encourage you, if you have sensitive knees, to place a blanket that's got a couple folds in it on your mat, or if you have a mat that you can bend, you can double up the mat a little bit just to give your knees some support. We'll come into a tabletop position in a comfortable arrangement, feeling your hips being supported by your knees and feeling that support reaching up through the earth. And the same for your arms, feeling your elbows under your shoulders and your hands at a comfortable distance apart. From here, we'll just take 3 rounds of cat and cow on your breath. So as you inhale, lifting your chest and your sit bones. And as you exhale, contracting your core, tucking your neck and your chin, finding and opening the back of your heart. And just move to your breath, taking the full length of inhale to open your chest, and the full length of the exhale to open the back of your heart. One more round on your own time. Coming back to center and finding a neutral space. Go ahead and reach your left leg out straight behind you with your toes tucked under. You can experiment with lifting that leg up and seeing how that feels, if you feel stable. If you feel really stable, you can try reaching your right arm up. But anywhere that you find, just experiment without judging where you need to be today, just finding some movement, noticing how it feels in your body. When you're ready, bring that knee back down and we'll stretch the right leg out behind you with our toes tucked, trying to make sure you have some support so your back isn't arching, but you have a neutral spine. And again, you can experiment with lifting that leg up, with lifting the left arm up, finding that activation of both arm and leg across your core, or experimenting with your balance. All the while trying to keep your neck and your spine nice and long. And when you're ready, you can bring that leg down. So we're on our hands and knees again. And then on your next inhale, reach your right arm up, look up at your right arm, and bend that arm and find a comfortable place to rest on your back or your sacrum. Just open up towards the sky, feeling support from your left hand and feeling your right shoulder opening up. On your next inhale, reach your right arm up again and bring it back down to the earth. On your next inhale, we'll take that on the left side, reaching up with the left hand, then bending that arm, finding a comfortable place to rest it, and feeling that left shoulder just opening up towards the sky a bit. Feeling the groundedness in your right hand as it supports you. And then reach up to the left and come back down. From here, we'll gently make our way towards standing. So you can walk your feet in or your hands back, coming into a really gentle forward fold with your knees bent. Just giving your spine a little bit of traction as your head releases entirely. And then gently, slowly roll up to standing, vertebra by vertebra, letting your head be the last thing that comes up. From here, we'll take some modified versions of half sun salutations. And for this, I really encourage you to have your blocks nearby. So to start, you might want to just notice where you feel comfortable in a standing forward fold today. So you might want to I encourage you to start with the blocks on the highest level. And then as we move through these, you might want to dial them down. If you still feel like you have some bend in your elbows, you can dial them down again. If that ever feels like too much, you just bring them back up again. So go ahead and have them in a comfortable place at the top of your mat. We'll start in Tadasana and just find your feet a comfortable distance apart. They can be a little wider than your hips. They can be a little turned out or in, however your feet naturally feel most supported and most stable. Tadasana means mountain pose. So whatever arrangement of feet that provide you a strong, stable support, that's where your Tadasana can be. So find your Tadasana. Take a moment to feel grounded here. On an inhale, reach your arms up and come off to the right on your exhale, finding a side moon. Stretch to the right. Inhale up through center. And exhale off to the left, finding side moon. Stretch there. Inhale back through center. Exhale and cactus your arms. Inhale back up, tall mountain. And exhale, folding forward with a flat back, finding your blocks. Your legs can be as bent or straight as is comfortable for you. From here, just let your head drop all the way down. On an inhale, lift halfway up and find a flat back. And on your exhale, drop all the way down again. Let your head go. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, bring your hands through heart center. So we'll do that another 2 times on your breath. Inhale, rise arms up. Exhale, come off to the right. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, off to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale through center. And exhale, come down with a flat back, finding your blocks, dropping your head. Inhale, find a flat back. And when you fold forward, if you feel compressed by your chest or your stomach, in this position, go ahead and tuck your chin first. And then as you exhale and fold forward, drop your head. On an inhale, rise all the way up and bring your hands through heart center. And take that one more time. Inhaling, tall mountain. Exhale, coming off to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale to the left. Inhale through center. Cactus the arms. Inhale through center. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, finding a flat back, adjusting your blocks if you need to. Exhale, fold all the way down and let your head go. Your legs as straight or bent as they need to be. And on an inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale your hands through heart center. Leaving the blocks there from Tadasana, go ahead and inhale your arms up and step your right leg back to find crescent lunge. So your hips are both facing forward and you're on the toes of your right leg. From here, exhale, bring your hands behind your back and interlace your fingers. And then press your hands together and lift up, opening your chest and opening your heart to the sky. Notice how your gaze affects your balance and where your body is today. Maybe today you just lift your heart. Maybe you test your balance. And an inhale, come back up, straighten that front leg, and then fold forward, grabbing your blocks to find pyramid pose. With your toes still tucked in the back, square your hips off so that the left hip is pulling back and the right hip is resting forward. And just find length here. And exhale, bend into that left leg. Move your blocks forward. Rise back up into crescent lunge. And step forward into Tadasana. Your next inhale, lift your heart. And then step back into crescent lunge with your left leg. Notice your hips, notice the contact of your feet on the earth. And bring your hands behind your back. Try to find the opposite cross of your hands than you had before. Press your fists together. Lift your heart. Notice where you're connected to the earth. Play with your balance and your gaze. When you're ready, rise back up. Straighten that front leg. Fold forward over the right leg, using your blocks for support. Squaring off your hips and finding your neck nice and long, an extension of your spine. Make sure to keep your quad active. You can practice bending and straightening it a little bit and feeling the difference. When you're ready, on an exhale, bend into that foot again. Rise back up and step forward into Tadasana. We're going to add on to some of that. So on an inhale, rise up, step your left foot back into a crescent lunge. And this time, hinge forward and come into an airplane lunge. So your torso is an extension of your left leg at a 45-degree angle, and your arms are alongside your torso, reaching back. And they're working hard. So feel your triceps squeezing together. Feel your fingers really active. And then we're going to step forward onto the right leg. See if you can do this without setting your left foot down. And we'll come forward into a standing staff pose. So your hands can be overhead at your heart center, on your hips, any place that help you find balance and stability. And from here, we'll take a low tree pose. So you can do this with your toes resting on the earth, your left toes, and your heels up against your right ankle, or you can bring your foot to your shin and your hands to your heart. But I would encourage you to keep your left foot on the ground with your heel resting on your right shin. And from here, see if you can, again, play around with your balance. Maybe try closing your eyes. Notice where you're being supported in this position. Notice where your body meets the earth. Maybe your feet remind you of the roots in this tree pose, drawing energy and nutrients up from the earth, and your head and your shoulders can be light, relaxed, and free, like the leaves swaying in the breeze. If you've been keeping your eyes closed, go ahead and open them and let your arms come down beside and find your Tadasana again. And we'll take that on the other side. Inhaling up and stepping back into a crescent lunge with your right foot. Inhale here, and on an exhale, hinge forward, finding one long line of energy from your right toes to the top of your head, your arms working alongside you, your fingers full of energy. And then bringing the weight into your left foot, stepping on to the left leg, bringing the right leg through, and finding a standing staff pose with your hands anywhere that's comfortable. And then from standing staff, finding your tree pose, feeling your left foot supported by the earth, rooting into the ground, and your right foot, the toes helping you to balance. And maybe testing your balance by closing your eyes for a couple seconds at a time. Noticing your contact with the earth. Noticing all the little intuitive movements that your body is doing without your instruction to keep you balanced, upright, reaching for the sky. Feeling the support of the earth reaching up through that left leg, all the way up through your crown. If your eyes are closed, go ahead and blink them open. And an exhale, step back into Tadasana. We'll build on a little bit more to that. So inhale through crescent, stepping back with the left leg. Finding strength here, feeling supported by the earth, noticing the contact of your feet to the ground. Exhaling, hinging forward into airplane lunge. And then from here, just experiment with bringing the weight into your right leg and lifting your left leg up and down. Just noticing how you feel today. Notice where you come to. Maybe you find full airplane pose. Maybe you find a low airplane pose. Maybe you stay in airplane lunge. Just experimenting and noticing what happens without judgment. And then bringing all of the weight into the right foot, stepping forward into your standing staff. And again, experimenting and straightening that leg and bending it, or keeping it bent. Noticing where you are today. Inhale your arms up and just step back down into Tadasana. And we'll take that on the final side. Inhaling your arms up, Stepping the right leg back into crescent. Noticing your contact with the earth in this lunge. Inhaling and exhaling as you hinge forward to find airplane lunge. And just notice where you are. If you need to bend your knee or straighten it a little bit, just noticing how that changes the pose for you. And then bringing the weight into your left leg, playing around with lifting up that right leg. Notice how it may shift things in your body. And then bringing all the weight into your left leg, stepping forward into a standing staff pose. And again, experimenting with where your right leg is today. Keeping it bent, practicing straightening it out, and just noticing. When you're ready, inhale, and bring your hands back through heart center into Tadasana. Let your hands go. From here, we're going to come onto our backs. So you can go ahead and move the blocks out of the way. And I will encourage you to find your strap now. Coming onto your back, whatever way is comfortable. Make sure you have your strap accessible and nearby. And your strap can just be one long strap. It doesn't need a loop. Doesn't need any particular arrangement. And as you're ready, just slowly make your way all the way down onto your back with your knees bent. Go ahead and lengthen your left leg all the way. And bring the strap around your right foot. So you may want to do this from a seated position, finding the strap around your foot, and then bending your right leg and lowering down. We're just going to use that strap to take a gentle hamstring stretch with our left leg, keeping the right leg active so it's not bent or rolling out, but it's not working overly hard. It's just staying alert. Just breathe into that right leg. Adjust the strap as you need. If you'd like, you can experiment with igniting your core a bit by lifting that left foot up off the ground, that left leg, and noticing how that feels. And if you want a little more, you can lift up your torso so you're coming past your shoulder blades. And just take a few pulses here, activating your core. And when you're ready, let your leg come down. Rest your head on the ground and let your foot go. Maybe shake your legs out a little bit and then bring that strap around your left foot and gently raise that up and use the strap to let it lengthen. Find some space in the back of your leg. Notice how this leg feels on this side. Notice any differences, if any, from the right side. And then if you'd like to take that core work on this side, Just experiment with lifting your right leg up. And if you like, experiment with lifting your shoulders up off the earth. And from here, notice where you still remain supported by the earth, and which parts of you are in contact with the earth. And here you can take some pulses. Just noticing where your body comes to a stop, where it wants to rest. And when you're ready, letting the right leg go. Rest on the earth, letting your shoulders rest on the earth. And from here, you can let the strap go and just set it to one side. Go ahead and bend your knees. Bring your right foot onto your left knee. And lift up your left leg and just take a hold of it anywhere that you can. Anywhere that you are able to help support your left leg up. And find a reclined pigeon pose. Notice how this feels in your right hip. You can play around with the placement of your foot, higher or lower on your thigh. Notice how that, or if that changes the sensation in your right hip. You can experiment with pulling that left knee in or letting it out. When you find something that feels good, just notice where that is on this side. Feeling your whole back having contact with the earth, a long neck, and let that go. And we'll take that on the other side, bringing the left foot to the right knee, and then lifting that right foot up, taking a hold of any part of your leg that you can to just help support that right leg a little bit, and play around with your foot placement on the right knee or right thigh and find out what arrangement, what angles of this pose feel good in your body today. You can pull that right knee in or let it out. You can always use a strap in this pose also by bringing that around your right shin just to lengthen your arms a little bit and use that to pull the leg in. And when you're ready, when you've noticed how the sensations are, if any, in your left hip today, go ahead and let that go. Bring both feet down to the earth. Bring your hands out alongside you. Widen your feet a bit so they're about mat distance apart or a little closer, a little wider, if those feel better. Just gently windshield wiper your legs from side to side. If that feels good, you can leave them there a little bit. If it just feels good to move them, go ahead and just let them move. Just notice where in your body you're feeling this movement. What parts of it feel good? And the next time you come to the right, go ahead and just let your knees fall all the way to the right. Let them rest there. If you'd like a deeper stretch, you can experiment with lifting the right foot and placing it on the left knee to just add a little more pressure to that twist. You can rotate your head to the left or the right, whichever feels good. Just breathe into your body here. When you're ready, with both feet on the floor, you can bring your knees back through center, then let them gently fall off to the left. Again, you can take the left foot on top of the right knee if that feels good. Just notice if you feel any sensations or any emotions, and just take note of them. Turning your head off to one side if that feels good. And when you're ready, with both feet on the floor, come back through center. And take one more stretch before we go into Shavasana. So you can take any movements that feel good to you. I will encourage you to take Happy Baby. And again, you can use a strap for this. So you may want to sit up, bring the strap forward, so that's around both soles of your feet, and then roll onto your back, widen your legs, and bend your knees. And you can, again, experiment with how much width you want with the strap, how much bend you want in your knees, what feels good. If you don't want to use a strap, you can, if your hands reach your feet, you can take a hold of them. Just take any movements that would feel good or any last stretches that you need before we come to stillness in Shavasana. And when you're ready, stretch your legs out long. If this doesn't feel good on your lower back, you can place a bolster or some blocks under your knees. You can bend your knees and take Shavasana with your knees bent. If there's any other way that you feel more comfortable, you can make yourself put some pillows under your back and your head. So you don't have to be lying down totally flat. Just come to a comfortable resting place. It can be on your side, on your back. And take a moment here to just find a way to make yourself 10% more comfortable. And when you're ready, find a place of stillness. And just like we did in the beginning of class, take a moment to check in with your breath, noticing its length and its quality. Take a moment to check in with your mind. Notice if your thoughts are racing, or they're quiet, or you're distracted, or you're present, without judging yourself for being any of those things. And take a moment to check in with your heart. Notice today how you arrive in Shavasana. And however you arrive, see if for these next few moments you can let yourself relax in the knowledge that right here, right now, you are safe, you're loved, and the world is a richer place because you are in it exactly as you are today. I will encourage you to stay in your Shavasana for at least another few minutes, or as long as you are able to today. And when you do feel ready to come out of it, please do so very gently and slowly. I hope that as you go forward today and for the rest of your week or month, you can notice when you need to where your body is in contact with the earth and ground yourself in your contact and your breath, and know that that security, that peace is always inside of you and available when you need it. Thank you so much for offering yourself this time today to come to the mat, to care for yourself, to check in with your body and your breath and your heart. As you go forward, I hope you can continue to practice offering yourself compassion, non-judgment, and acceptance exactly as you are today. Thank you so much for practicing with me today.